Hey, Mosaic Souls. This is Rachael Alexander. I am live, coming very, I was rushing back here, trying to grab something to eat. Starving. I had this hankering for some Chinese food, so I wanted to make sure I grabbed some food before I went live. So today I'm going to be talking about learning to listen to your body. And I was chatting with my divine team earlier about just what that means and any insights that they wanted to share along the topic of learning to listen to your body. And usually I don't really have, like, one of the things that there's two different roads. There's when you learn to listen to your body, it's when I would say follow the listen to your body method when your level of consciousness awareness of who you are and your awareness of your attachments and your awareness of your emotional attachments to things are very keen, when you're very aware and just very aware of what's going on in your body. That's when I say learn to listen to your body, because your body is highly intelligent. But what happens is most of us are really kind of numbed out. Not most, well, yeah, a lot of us are numbed out. We're not taught certain sensations and things that we experience in our bodies. If you're here, feel free to say hi. I'm just going to be chatting. I'd love to, converse with you guys and see who I'm actually talking to. I don't want to just be a talking head. I do want to make this kind of a community. So anywho, I'll keep chatting. But if you see me chewing, it's because I took a big bite of my Chinese food. Got some sesame tofu, broccoli, and some rice. So I had this really strange hankering for it today. So got some Chinese food. Anyways, but yeah, so when we're not aware of these aspects that are going on, like our emotional attachments, then listening to our bodies is not the path to go, because you haven't increased that level of awareness around what's going on in your body. One of the things that my divine team has shared with me earlier was just the fact that we've all come here for different experiences, and they dropped a soul nugget on me, dropped a truth moment on me, where they were like, basically, that us as human beings, as souls having this human experience, many includes illnesses and sicknesses and stuff. Like, oh no, saying my connection is unstable. I hope that you guys can still hear me. But when they told me that, I was like, wow, that's very deep. Because we often think that, oh, we've come here, as you always hear me say, that life is about the journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And as souls having this human experience, we've come to traverse different experiences, to experience and explore different experiences. And some of those experiences are illnesses. Some of us did come to experience different illnesses so that we could have the experience of self-healing, or that we could have the experience of working or collaborating with other people to heal ourselves, or we could have or explore the experience of raw veganism, or we could have the experience of, healing through a specific modality. When you look at things from a higher perspective, you start to see that, well, of course, as you always hear me say, that, we're the playground of Earth. This is playground Earth. As I always talk about things, it's going to be from a higher perspective. It's not going to be from, oh, X, Y, Z. I do like tactics, and I share tactics with you guys for things that have worked with me, in hopes that if it resonates with you, that's always the flow with what feels good, let go of what doesn't. But if it resonates with you, take it, because that resonance that you feel is your soul saying, oh yeah, I want to explore that now in my life right now. And so that's what my divine team was sharing with me earlier. It was just basically that we've each come for different experiences. I'll share something personal. One of my family members, an uncle, a beloved uncle, just passed away this past Sunday. And it was very heartbreaking for me. But in that same instance of me finding out, it was like an inner knowing that his soul signed. Like, no one exits this planet without, like, before their time. You know what I mean? Like this is higher stuff, as I always say, flow, fulfill, go, but doesn't. I'm talking from a higher consciousness state of point of view. But my uncle, I guess he was in his 70s. He passed away from like COPD complications with COPD, which is basically kind of like things dealing with the lungs or whatever. But that's what his soul to experience, you know what I mean? And so when I'm talking about listening to your body, it's really about listening to your soul and listening to what's going on. Because like I woke up today with this is me just kind of off the cuff, okay? I woke up today and I usually don't eat until like 1 p.m. depending on my schedule. I'm blessed enough at this point in my life where I'm for Chinese food. Most days, every day, most days, I drink a green smoothie, and I'll probably have a green smoothie later on tonight. But and like a few days ago, I had this huge hankering for a big salad, like 3 days in a row, actually. I had a hankering for a huge salad. And that's only because I've developed and cultivated and cleansed my palate enough to know what my body needs. And if I'm craving certain things, then I listen to that craving. Now, there are certain moments where, sometimes, we might be having like a craving for pizza or chocolate chip cookies, right? And, there's nothing wrong with that. I say indulge, whenever you have it. I'm never saying to be afraid of food, because we came here to explore all these different things. But if you notice that within yourself, you continuously have habits of going to chocolate chip cookies or going to pizza or getting certain, Coca-Cola or something, at stressful moments in your life, food, what's going on is that you aren't really checking in with your emotions. And I talked about this in my last Wellness Wednesday video, but we're basically talking about having a brain fart here. What? What was I talking about? Oh, 5 ways to incorporate more self-care. And one of the first ways was learning to check in with your inner world, emotions. And when you're not in tune with your emotions and you turn to food to kind of heal your emotions, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have a tendency to do that over and over and over, then that's where you want to see that, oh, well, this is an area that I get to explore. This is an area for expansion. This is an area for growth. So basically, the whole listen to your body talk really about learning to journey and traverse your own personal journey from a place of higher consciousness, from a place of inner knowing of who you are, and inner knowing that there are different things that I feel that we are all meant to eat plants to some degree or other, depending on whatever your soul has come to experience. I've traversed many different dietary labels. As you know, I don't really do labels anymore because I don't like the restriction of them. If my soul or if I have a hankering for something, then I will follow that hankering. But that's only because I developed years and years and years of inner knowing of what's going on in my inner world. If I have a hankering for like a piece of cake and some ice cream, which is very rare, but if let's say I do, I'm very aware that maybe something went on that day, that some emotion is coming up and I haven't dealt with. And right now I'm choosing the path of least resistance, which is ice cream and cake, which I really don't eat. It would most likely be vegan because I really can't, I don't do dairy, but it would basically, it would be dealing with, like, there's some emotional stuff that's coming up for me. Maybe I feel violated. Maybe I really need to talk to this person. Maybe I feel alone. I need to reach out to friends to connect more. Maybe I need to have more fun, or maybe I just feel too sedentary, or maybe I'm overcommitting myself to things. Whatever it is, I immediately start to go back inward and say, what's going on when I'm having cravings for things that I would deem kind of unhealthy. And on a vibrational level, I've had this conversation with my divine team several times. There are different, like, foods definitely do have a vibrate. Currently on our planet, the way that I don't want to get into that, but just know that currently on our planet, just the way that we farm animals and do that whole thing makes more unhealthy, I guess you can say, for us, because of the way that we process it and because we just overdo it, especially here in America. So with that said, take it with a grain of salt, right? Like flow with what feels good and let go of what doesn't. And plants tend to have a higher vibrational signature as well. Like they tend to be less dense, just on a vibrational scale, right? There's no right or wrong here. Okay. I'm just talking about just what it represents, right? When we have denser emotions like, hatred or sadness or grief, or those are denser emotions. They're not wrong. They're just on the spectrum of things. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about food being on the spectrum. There's foods that are denser and foods that are lighter. Lighter isn't better than denser. Sometimes we need more denser to balance out our energy. Like I can just share with you a personal thing. When I was doing hardcore, like raw vegan back in my early 20s, I really needed to like ground down in my body, and ground down into the energy of earth, because I was feeling very flighty in my life. And I was feeling like, my God, like I just didn't want to be here on the planet. I didn't really feel grounded. I didn't feel safe as a soul having this human experience. And so eating more denser foods, and there's also denser vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, but in tune with being human and helped me to feel more safe being on the planet. So really learning to listen to your body is really learning to homogenous thing that's going on. And when you tune and tap into that, you'll start to be able to eat more freely. I'm all about intuitive eating. I'm not about rigid diet plans or anything like that. I'm mostly, for food that I eat, is plant-based, but that's just because that's where I like to vibrate. And as I said, I'm not a stickler on any of that. So yeah, I'm just rambling on. I'm about to dive into this Chinese food that I got. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. I would love to, help you along your journey in discovering what path or your soul wants you to traverse and explore next as far as the whole food thing goes, and learning to listen to your body, because it is a very intuitive thing. There are certain things that just tuning into while on the planet, because it helps you to not explore sickness as much, right? Like I can't remember the last time I was sick, honestly. I feel like it's been some years. I don't really get sick often, and I think it's because I do listen to my body. I've learned to listen to these inner nudges, and I've learned to tap into what's going on for me emotionally. I would almost to say that a huge percentage of the sicknesses and the illnesses on the planet that we experience are emotionally based. It's a lot of emotions that we haven't dealt with. It's a lot of situations that we haven't dealt with in our lives, and we're turning to food, we're turning to other sort of quote unquote negative or denser energies that's bogging down our energetic frequency, our energetic field on the planet, and it's making us experience more diseases. Check in and see what are the things that you can explore to help you traverse this. Maybe if you're experiencing certain things in your life, your soul is wanting you to experience self-healing, or it's you might feel like maybe I should eat more plants right now, or maybe I should try this right now. I feel like we all have different things that our souls have come to here to explore. So that's where you will find the most resonance, and you'll be able to. So I hope that this has been helpful. I think I'm done, but I think I'm going to get off. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that this Wellness Wednesday has resonated with you to some degree. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And remember to always flow with what feels good and let go of what doesn't, because you are divine and your soul knows exactly what you have come here to explore. And have an awesome day. Peace, love, and light.